This is Mike Kavanaugh with GayLifeNYC.org and HIVHero.org. I'm here with Arne Gundersen. How are you?
Oh, I'm fine, Mike. How are you?
Oh, so good to meet you. You're a legend in the industry.
Oh, yes, sure. I'm a legend in my own mind.
Oh, not at all. So tell us about this new show, Next Broadway Star. What was the premise of it and how did it come about?
Well, the premise is that Gunnar Larson and his group came up with the idea that they would like to help young, new talent start out on Broadway. So they came up with the idea of this contest. Now, there are a lot of contests out, but this is more specialized in the idea that we're looking for new Broadway voices. Today, oddly enough, you're going to hear a whole range of voices, pop stars, or pop singers rather, belters, Broadway types, and of course Broadway nowadays has everything. I mean, look at Hair, look at Rock of Ages, look at the old-fashioned musicals we have, and there's just, the voices just go the whole range. Hopefully today we're going to find somebody that will go on to the next level, and actually because it's going to be on part of the Broadway.ocm, perhaps some of these performances will be seen through the TV, through the internet, and might even get cast through that way. We may find some people who don't win today that actually go on to work. I'm hoping actually that a lot of these kids will do. I'm a native New Yorker, and when I was 15 and 16, I used to come into the city to audition all the time, and I remember thinking to myself, as you have to in the beginning, they're just waiting for me at that stage door, you know?
Sure. You know what I think is really interesting? All the people that audition and come to the city with these dreams, I've auditioned people myself, and sometimes you're looking for that one-legged, bald, guy, and that you can't take it personally. So all the people in the arts are kind of my heroes because they go on, keep going, and I love this idea because it's giving young people a chance and a platform to show what they can do.
Now, you hit it just right on the head, because for many of us, and one of the things that they don't teach in schools, and they should, is exactly what you just said. They may be looking for the one-legged bald hero, or as I used to put it, and it took me almost 15 years to learn when I was young in the business, that they're looking for the blue sofa today, and I just happen to be the red sofa. Right. So you don't take it personally, and that helps you persevere. It helps you stay in the business, because the other thing that I've always said, there are so many people that I started out with that were certainly, in hindsight, much more talented than I was, and they left the business. Right. They couldn't take the pressure, they left. And those of us that hung in, I managed to make a living my whole life out of the business, and I don't regret 1 second of any of it, and that's the best part of it, you know.
Well, thank God for people like you that keep the business going. And like I said, I'm going to say this one more time, you are all my heroes for sticking in there and being able to take this kind of hard life, because you never know where your next job's going to be, right?
Absolutely, and the only advice that anybody can give is exactly what he just said. Just hang in there.
Hang in there. You are my heroes, and we're a site for newly diagnosed and people living with HIV. Do you have any message out there about just living your life, even if you have the disease, to the fullest?
Well, thank God, one of the things we didn't mention was that for years I've been the vice president of Actors Equity. Equity was one of the first in the forefront for AIDS. In fact, I was the original chair of Broadway Cares Equity Fights AIDS. I take great pride in the fact that we never discriminated against anyone, as some of the other unions were worried about in the early days, about kissing, about silly nonsense that it never entered our minds. We went out there and fought for all of our members because it's family here. Right. Part of it is, that's exactly what it's about. In New York, I shouldn't slam anywhere else, but the fact of the matter is I only know about New York. And in New York, we're all one family, and it's about working together as a family.
Yes, well, we work exclusively with Broadway Cares and the Actors Fund. They're two of our partners, so we support all their activities and all their services, so amazing organizations. Absolutely. And one more question, how did you select the candidates for this?
Well, actually, there was a pre-selection on this. They've auditioned quite a few people. The judges, I'm one of the judges, were not involved with that part of it. They've wheedled it down to 16, the 16 you'll see today, and out of the 16, 10 will go to the next level, and then we will keep going from there. I think there's 2 more after this. Yeah.
That's great. And where can we see the show?
Well, the show right now today is being taped, and I believe it will be on Broadway.ocm. I think there'll be a couple of other places. I'm not quite sure yet, because suddenly I hear the Daily News is here, and they may show some of this on their own website, but I don't know who else is in the audience today. You, of course.
Yes, of course. I'll have my stuff up right away. Thank you so much. Such a pleasure to meet you and talk to you.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
My name is Lovitz, and I am thrilled to be second year at the Search for the Next Broadway Star, presented by Broadway.ocm at McDonald's. Give a little love to them, please. Thank you. Here on 42nd Street, in the heart of Broadway. This is the place where dreams are made and sometimes broken. But today, 10 lucky people are going to have their dream made. To join us today in the celebration, we've got friends and family downstairs, and we are joined by some of Broadway's finest who turned out today. We've got cast members from HERE, we've got cast members from the we've got cast members from the Book of Mormon, who else? We've got cast members from many other Broadway shows that are here. And it's so good to see you all. Thank you all for joining us on your busy day off. I give you our very first performer, who will be singing Take Me or Leave Me from the hit musical Rent. I give you Josephine.
Single day, I walk down the street. I hear people say, baby, you're so sweet. Ever since puberty, everybody stares at me. Boys, girls, I can't help it, baby. So we don't waste my time.
All these places that I know exist, but never see